Ohio State beats the Texas Longhorns 28-14 after a last-second strip sack, scoop and score by Jack Sawyer, the defensive end for the Buckeyes, to make his way to the end zone to put his team up 2 scores, and that punches the Buckeyes ticket to the national championship game. I believe it's the first time since 2015, and ultimately ending Texas's season. And Ohio State will make their way to the championship game and face off with Notre Dame. Early on this game had a lot of defensive moments. The defense stood up and were able to make plays. But as it got further along, we were able to see each quarterback trying to make plays and make them in key situations, in which they did. But I ain't going to do too much more talking. I'm going to give the floor to Elijah because I know he going to want to say something to these Texas fans that have tuned in all through season long in hopes to get their championship aspirations on the way. Go take it away, E.
Couldn't wait for this moment. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying, and as I have off-camera conversations with people, I always said that I think Texas is the most talented team in the college football here. I did say that. I said that last year that I thought they were more talented. Of course, more talented than Washington, and they shouldn't have lost. Texas fans, they took that. They took that and was saying that, oh, whatever, because my opening thing was, I said, hey, if Steve lose this game, I think people should start calling for his job the same way they do Ryan Day. I never said Steve was a bad coach. I never said Ryan Day was a bad coach. What I'm saying is that Steve hasn't won the big one. And that's what Ryan Day. He never won the big one until tonight when he beat Texas. And that's what everybody kept calling his job for. If you could see, if they didn't win in the playoffs, they was on the verge of firing him. Mike Verber was one of those guys to grab it. So with that being said, I'm going to throw my for show you right on. Because you know what? The party over, Texas. Call your ride. Call your ride, Texas. Call them. Your party's over. All the fans out there, it's over. It's over. Get you an Uber, warm the bus, get you a Lyft. However you want to get home tonight, make sure you do it. Drive safe. It's snowing out there. Drive safe. So I will let you know that right now. Drive safe. It's snowing. You got to get home. Texas, I love it. Hook 'em horns. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know? Hey, I love this moment right now, man. Because I think Texas was a great team, and I think the score really didn't show. I think it was more of a one-score game. Of course, we know Jack took the fumble and he scored, and that's what really was the game finisher right there. But again, I just think that Texas is one of the best teams out there, and I think Ohio State was one of them too. And the game didn't come down to coaching. This is not on Steve. Not on Steve. Drop passes was one of the elements. Not protecting Quentin Ewers, who I think balled out, was one of the elements. And then just not getting pivotal stops. Third down, you had them. Fourth down, you had them. You just couldn't do it. The only thing I didn't agree with Steve on was the going for it. I think their first series,
he went for the drive.
Yeah, he went for it in the first series. Sometimes it's easy. Just take the 3. Take the 3, because when you go for it, I'm gonna be honest with you, go for it and you miss it. You know what that's telling me on the other sideline? That's telling me you can't stop us. That's telling me right there, you can't stop us. It's not even about building momentum. It's not a gutsy call. It's not, you know what I'm saying? That's just telling me we about to score 7 and then get it back and score 14. That's what you told Ohio State, that they can score at will. And even though you held them, Texas played very well defensively. There was a couple PI calls and things of that nature. But again, I'm not calling for Steve's job. I think Steve is a good guy, good coach, good recruiter. Again, if you're going to say that to Ryan Day, he can't win the big one, make sure you have the same energy with Steve. And not just Steve, all these other coaches. They can't win the big one, have the same energy, because I just think that's unfair. But again, congratulations to Ohio State. And I think we're in for a good national championship game.
Yeah, it's going to be a defensive battle, to say the least, in that game. Even though, you have 2 really, really good offenses you have 1 really good offense in Ohio State that's been playing at a high level. Texas kind of gave the blueprint of how you need to take Jeremiah Smith out of the game plan. And that's exactly what Texas did. They said, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to do it somewhere else. Get somebody else to do it. And that's exactly what they did. They put as much coverage around him. They made sure that they had somebody over the top of him or buzzing underneath him as many opportunities as they could, and neutralized him out of the game. But that's why you have so many other weapons. And it goes without saying, for all the running backs that played in this ball game, they stepped up. I mean, whether it was Wisner for Texas, whether it was Henderson with the 75-yard touchdown right there before halftime for Ohio State, Quinshon Judkins, even though he didn't have as many yards as what he would like, he scored 2 touchdowns. A lot of times people go back and look at the box score, and, we could take a look at that and just talk about it, because I think he only had 8 carries for 27 yards. And so when you look at that box score, you're saying, how did he win the game? Well, 9 carries of 36 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trevion Henderson, 6 carries for 42 yards. But when you look at that, you're like, how does a team win the game like that when they're not really gashing teams and running the football? It's just making timely plays when you need to. Like, if you take out Jack Sawyer's strip sack there at the end of the game, this game probably goes into overtime, or it might be a 1-score game, or who knows. Like, it's the timely plays that happen to make the difference and help teams be able to come out on top when it's all said and done. Kudos to Ohio State for making the plays when they need to. The guys up front made a lot of good plays. They were getting a lot of push laterally down the line of scrimmage and opening up gaps for the linebackers to be able to shoot the gap and make plays whenever they did. But Ohio State ultimately just made more plays than what Texas did. Texas, Quinn Ewers and what ultimately might be his last college football game, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, was 23 of 39, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He had a lot of receivers that he threw the ball to. Matthew Golden, who was in and out of the lineup due to injury, only had 2 catches for 51 yards. Jaden Blue had 2 touchdowns. But like I said, man, like, when it comes to making plays in the big moments, that's what this boiled down to. Quinshon Judkins, Jack Sawyer making plays, Trevion Henderson making plays. And it was a bunch of times, Elijah alluded to it. It was a bunch of times where Quinn Ewers was back there fighting for his life in the pocket, and he's trying to throw the ball down the field. But when the pocket is collapsing on you, bro, the only thing that you can do is throw the ball away or have an outlet, a swing pass, a check down, your running back dumping out of the backfield, some kind of way for you to be able to get the football out of your hands. If you're not able to do that, you're going to get sacked. Like, that's just what it is. And that was happening to him very early on in this game. Neither team was really good on third down in this one. And when, Notre Dame is probably looking at this film early on, they were probably feeling like we could beat either team. They're going to look at this and say, if we take away Jeremiah Smith and can neutralize the running game, make them as one-dimensional as possible, where Will Howard has to throw the ball 50 times, we're going to win a national championship. So that's pretty much it on this game, man. I mean, it was a good one all throughout, and now we're just excited to see what the national championship game is going to be like. Thank you so much for watching this clip of the Fitz Take podcast. Be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also follow me and Elijah on our social media platforms. They will be linked down in the description. And remember, every episode of the Fitz Take podcast will air right here on the YouTube channel every Monday at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.